Hey everybody, welcome back to another Spooky Story Sunday. And today we're going to be reading from the state of Delaware on, of course, the website yourghoststories.com. This story is called Scratching on the Door, and it is written by Elefante81. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's elephant with an E and then 81. And this story was written back in 2010. So let's get started. I've been debating for some time on whether or not to submit this story. Although I think it's pretty interesting, it isn't very scary. After growing up in Connecticut, I went to the University of Delaware for college. I have always had a fascination with the paranormal, but I didn't have many experiences growing up. Sophomore year, I became close with my RA, my resident assistant. We bonded over our love for ghosts, as did my close group of friends at the time. She came to my room one day telling me she heard that the basement of a building near us used to be used as a morgue. We later found out that this was a rumor, but regardless, this is what led us to the building. The building was located on Main Street in Delaware, and was used as an honors office building for such students to obtain information. It did not hold classrooms. It actually looked like an old house, and construction was done to turn it into an office. My RA Sarah and I went to the basement of the building. To our surprise, it was finished, and to our dismay, was quite plain. It was a small hallway of about 5 closed and locked doors and a vending machine. We realized quickly that there was nothing particularly spooky about this, so Sarah suggested we put our ears up to the doors and listen to see if we hear anything. We put our ears up to each door and either heard nothing or the common sounds of heater or whatnot. Basically common basement sounds. But we had listened to all the doors except for one. The last door was the closet to the stairwell. There were no other doors beside it, as it was located on the far wall of the hallway. We put our ears up to listen. We were facing each other at the time, and although we were breathing hard, we were smiling at our situation. I, all of a sudden, began to hear scratching against the door. It sounded like someone on the other side was taking their fingernail and scraping it against the wooden door. I asked Sarah if she could hear it too, but she couldn't. She placed her ear where mine had been, and her eyes grew wide. She heard it too. A strange scraping. We stood back and looked at each other, and wondered what could be behind the door. It too was locked. We decided to go up the stairwell, and to one of the offices and ask someone about it. Our bright idea was to tell an administrator that we were doing a project on the paranormal, and were wondering if they had any information on the building. As we climbed the stairwell, something happened. I lost my breath for a moment. I cannot remember this quite well, but I just remember gasping for a second. We were still on the staircase, and up just a few more stairs was the landing with the door to the office propped open. I looked behind me, confused for a moment. Sarah asked if I was okay. I began to explain what happened when the door that was propped open in front of us slammed shut. We screamed and ran out of the building laughing. We couldn't quite explain this, although it could have been explained easily by saying that maybe it was propped open securely and just happened to lose its edge and close. We refused to accept that. We told everyone the story and demanded they come with us back to the basement and listen in on the mystery door. A group of my friends soon came. Some heard the scratching and some heard other things. One friend told me it sounded like a rocking chair. One time 2 people with their ears to the door heard nothing, but my friend and I, who were a foot from the door, heard strange sounds. We decided that was enough and once again climbed the stairwell to speak to an office worker. We found a lady and did our little spiel about doing a project, and we were wondering. She interrupted us. "You want to hear about our ghost, right?" she asked with a grin. She shared with us that one night she was working in her office alone. She had called a friend to come pick her up. She heard some noises on the bottom floor. She peered down the stairs, not the stairwell, but what used to be the actual staircase in the house before it was renovated, and saw the shadow of a person. Without questioning it, She shouted that she would be right down, to whom she thought was her friend. When she grabbed her things and ran downstairs, she found no one. Instead, she peered out of the window and found her friend pulling up to the building. How creepy. She gave us some interesting information on the building. She told us it was one of the oldest buildings on the campus and was built in the 1700s. She said that about half of the building has been untouched and was never renovated. We asked her which parts. She told us a few rooms and said that the original staircase is still there, along with some rooms in the basement. Actually, she said, one room used to be a slave quarters and has never been renovated. Wide-eyed, we asked her which room, and she replied it was the door right next to the stairwell. We all looked at each other, knowing it was the door. Sounds coincidental, and perhaps it is, but it was very spooky at the time. We asked her if we could see it, and she explained that she personally did not have a key for the room and didn't know who did. We actually came back a few days later with a bobby pin. As if that would have opened it. It never did, and we decided it was best left alone after discovering what it was. Hope you enjoyed. The end. Okay, everybody, that was a really fun story. It was very light. It was a little creepy. I did get goosebumps when they said that the door was used for slaves and stuff. But let me know what you guys think. This was a little bit of a shorter story. While I was going through the Delaware stories, there wasn't very many. There was like 20-something stories on the Delaware section. And this was the longest one I could find. Like I said before, for these Sunday stories, I do try to read you guys the longer ones and the ones that I believe in. Like, since these are made from people, like written from people, you know, obviously some of them are probably going to be very fake, just for attention or whatever, I don't know. But I do try to get the ones that I definitely believe in, and this is something I believe in. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't believe in it. I mean, it's not like unofficial, like that was definitely a ghost there. I mean, obviously scratching could be so many different things. Like, it could be an animal, it could just be the old house just kind of settling in, or it could be the heater, you know, you never know. But it is interesting that they did hear some noises back there and they found out it was used as like a slave type of a room, which, yeah, I got goosebumps on that part. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and don't forget to stay tuned for more spooky stories on Sundays. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and also subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! I cannot remember this quite well, but I just remember gasping for a second. We were still... I just heard a tapping and that freaked me out. Hopefully that was just outside noise. Ew, that creeped me out because I'm scared now. Okay, I'm scared myself, freaking myself out. Where's my cat? Now I miss her. Kyra! Okay, I'm done. Okay, but seriously though, that like tapping that I heard, I'm like, did you guys hear that on camera? I'm gonna watch this video and I'm gonna see something creepy and I'm gonna freak out. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.